Hi everybody and welcome to this BK Academy tutorial, part of a series on the channel homepage with loads of quick fire tips designed to help you add some new elements to your game and drop more shots, improving your scores in tournaments and hopefully winning you more games in tour play as well, regardless of your skill level. In this video, this is part 2 of a series of 3 looking at pull angles, and especially 11:59 and 12:01. And we're going to give you some tips to introduce these into your game and to clarify a few queries, because I do get asked a lot of questions about pull angles and they are key to dropping more shots. So hopefully this video is going to help you. If you've not seen part 1 already, the link is in the description down below, and the link will follow for part 3 at the end of the video, and that's also in the video description down below as well. Before we get started with part 2, please hit thumbs up on this video and make sure you subscribed as well. Get the bell button turned on, you will get notifications when we upload new content here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. Here we go. Now, at the end of part 1, we looked at the effects of an 11:59 and a 12:01 pull if we had straight tailwind. We're going to look at the same hole here, and as in part 1, the white circle is my initial aim point. That's where I want the first bounce to be, so you can imagine that to be my bullseye on the ground. First bounce going to be exactly in the middle of that circle. Now, for the wind in this example, we're going to look at a crosswind from left to right, because some people think an 11:59 will always have the same effect, and that's not true. It depends which way the wind is blowing. So if we're adjusting our rings, I've turned the camera round, the wind arrow is pointing straight up vertically. If I'm doing a normal straight adjustment after I've adjusted my rings, the white cross here with a straight pull, 12 o'clock pull, is going to be where my new bullseye is. So I'm just adjusting totally horizontally to the left to counter the wind push, because it's going from left to right. So if I'm going to make an 11:59 pull in this scenario, I would of course find vertical with my wind arrow, ready to adjust my rings. Then I'm just going to flick the camera around a couple of degrees to get the amount of 11:59 I need. And in the instance here, I'm going to, as before, put the red cross on where the center of the bullseye is going to be after the equivalent ring adjustment. And you can see here, it's going to cause me to gain distance on my shot. The red cross clearly above where the white cross was for the straight pull. And in similar fashion, I'm going to put the blue cross for a 12:01 pull. So same method again. I would find vertical with my wind arrow and then just tweak the camera angle around so I'm aiming with the wind arrow favoring the right hand side of vertical. And a 12:01 pull in this wind direction, having crosswind from left to right, is going to mean that my aim point is slightly further back. And if I take the 12 o'clock out of the equation on the picture, you'll see there, okay, this is for illustrative purposes only. The difference may not be that much at all. Depends how much you're adjusting and how much your pull angle is. But you can see there, the 11:59 causing me to gain distance, the 12:01 causing me, in this instance, to lose distance on the shot. Now, if we look at crosswind from the other direction, so blowing from the right to the left as we look at the picture, if I'm adjusting with a straight pull, I'm going to adjust to the right because that will counter the wind push, which is going to push me left. And the white cross is there where the new bullseye would be after adjusting my rings. So totally horizontally to the right. Now I'm going to show you the effects of an 11:59 pull here. Same method as before. Obviously going to find my vertical position with the wind arrow and then just spin the camera slightly to get the amount of 11:59. And the red cross again on screen going to designate where the rings are going to be after that 11:59. As you can see here, 11:59 is losing distance. That's because the crosswind is blowing the other direction to the previous example. And similar fashion, 12:01 with the blue cross is going to gain distance based on that pull angle. So if I take the white one away for the straight pull, you can see a 12:01 for right to left crosswind is going to gain distance, whereas before for left to right it was going to lose distance on the shot. So that just illustrates how the different pull angles give you different results depending on the direction of the wind. We're going to look now at why we use pull angles. It's all very well understanding which one is which, and we've looked at the effects of them, but why do you need to use them, and why do shot creators and guide makers always go on about 1159 and 1201? Now usually, and although there's not one correct answer to this, there's several possibilities. Most likely it's to correct where you are adjusting to. So if you are adjusting down into a bunker and there maybe isn't time to push up rings after you've adjusted, if you've got a lot of steps to complete in the shot setup, then a pull angle can correct this, because as we saw in the previous examples, 1159 and 1201 can gain distance on shots depending on the wind angle. Same thing goes if you're adjusting onto a higher point of land, you will add distance to your shot. So a pull angle here, used correctly, would correct that difference rather than you having to then worry about pulling back to counteract gaining distance. You may then accidentally not pull in a straight line. So a pull angle can save you time there as well. They can also be used to counteract wind effect, to check the ball up a little bit better in line with the pin if you're dealing with some difficult wind angles, but also can be used as well just to help the accuracy and correct any rollouts or bounces that you may be dealing with. It all depends on the circumstances, but when you are advised to use them, it's important to make sure you know which one you're using and to understand why that is, because then you can add that into your own game as well.